Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Moji Ji ki Jai. A very funny once. Can you say? Where's on? So we ended Satsang one day and I said, thank you all for being in Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Moji Ji ki Jai. And then Anandi was there for a few months, so she used to say after that. So she started and said, Sadhguru Shri. Then it came to. I'm exaggerating, it wasn't that long. This is more or less the halfway point of the retreat. And from here on, find this effortlessness of being the self. So far, it has seemed like we have been making some effort to discover the self. Find now that this naturalness, this existence itself, is your natural state. Look at the hard work you have been doing in picking up all these ideas and concepts. And find that it has been completely futile, no matter what the mind is telling you about it. Nobody wants the person back. Whatever the mind might be promising to you, whatever fears it might be telling you about, nobody wants this identity back. And it's time that we stop buying these excuses of the mind. Effortlessly allow them to come and go. Because by now it must be completely clear to you that this voice is not authentically yours. It belongs to you, it appears inside you, but it does not represent who you are. And when you're buying, then know for yourself, I am buying this now. If you buy an idea of I, and say, I am buying this. It might seem a little bit silly what I'm saying. But it's what we are doing, so why don't we admit it? I'm buying the idea that I don't feel free. That means I'm still buying the idea that freedom is some feeling. I'm buying the idea that something is supposed to happen to my body once I'm free. I'm buying the idea that some sort of utopia will be here when there is freedom. Which are the ideas that you are buying? So just in silence for maybe up to 5 minutes, do an internal audit and find out which ideas are still being bought, which ideas still have the most force, and some of you then can expose them. Come with your truest sounding ideas. Samya will start.
Close my eyes and I try to balance my awareness. Slowly it starts being spacious and there is some stillness also to it, and when there is no identity value. But the moment the eyes are open, it is different. It is, I think, even the witnessing.
So this is what you're exposing the ideas you buy?
Yeah, because it's like my mind is only taking that view that it is witnessing.
Come. So we can pause this one for a while. All of you have mostly spiritual ideas that you're buying? Spiritual. What about the non-spiritual one? What about the non-spiritual one? Don't feel bad. It's okay. You? Okay. Yeah. At least the number one idea that you're buying. Yeah. You hate to sit like this in front of me. No.
Just see like this. Strong satsang.
It's strong satsang. So you yourself said it perfectly. Strong satsang is the best satsang. If it is just meek satsang, then there's no point. If it is just goody, nice. It's very good satsang. Okay, what's yours?
I didn't know you were going to ask me what it was. Just like, I have one.
You have one? Anyone else? Number one idea that you're buying. Haven't got it. Very popular. Okay.
Uncomfortable.
Body is distracting. What's the idea about it?
I'm a body, that's why I'm feeling that pain.
If I'm feeling pain, I must be the body. That's it. You're buying anything? Not buying?
Not idea, but image.
Okay.
Buying the image.
Which image?
It's again the old.
Image is coming.
Yeah.
Can you believe or disbelieve an image?
No, I don't believe it.
How can you believe an image? Okay, image is coming. Bhagwan's photo is there. Can you believe or not believe it? Not possible. It must have a concept around it. This is a good, at least it must say good or bad or something.
Other than that, I'm not buying it.
Even before closing my eyes, there was a voice, you buy everything I give.
The mind was saying, Mr. Rajan.
Mr. Rajan has completely taken control of me.
How to break this control? Right now. Just right now, don't buy the next thought. The mind says it cannot be that simple. It's a big project.
Yes, it does.
Yeah?
It's
But right now, you are already free. You are already free. How to not pretend to be bound is to not believe your next thought. Forget about the past. It's never about that. It's about right now. You are as free as me right now. In this moment, right here, right now. Same for all of you. It's just that I am not buying whatever the mind is selling.
I can't even say it. I'm not looking at you. This is not true.
Devika comes in the hangout, and
Big problem.
before she starts speaking or before she starts sharing, sometimes she has this glum face, like a beaten up by life face. And she comes, and when I said, "How many seconds before you start laughing?" The record was 2. Now that's broken.
Shall I say anyway?
Yes.
So the thought was, this piece is going to last until I have my first conversation with my husband. I can't find anybody.
The peace is going to last as long as I haven't yet had my first conversation with my husband. Okay. And who is concerned about peace? Even if it is true. For a change. Even if it is true. Who is concerned about peace? So rather than inquiring into whether peace can last more than that, all that is fine. But to look deeper is to see who is concerned about the presence of peace even. Because there's something trying to hold on to some peace or something.
Spiritual or non-spiritual?
Okay, both.
The spiritual one is more deeper insight, like some of the others have had.
Not having the deeper insight.
Not having the deeper insight, so which means you're not free yet.
The bind. Kind.
Kind of.
Okay. And the non-spiritual?
Non-spiritual is something connected with the self-image, something is afraid of getting hurt or feeling embarrassed.
That's a thought.
I don't know what it's a thought or it's something.
What is the usual way in which it comes? When the Mr. Rajan is speaking, what is it saying? When did it happen last?
Mr. Rajan is not very clear with the words in this.
And we're still buying.
I don't know what it is, but it's like something that can be something can be poked. Something can be
Something that is me, that is my self-image,
Yeah,
that is my identity, which can be burst.
yeah. We can. So then Mr. Rajan speaks it. That is there. That means we.
The entire idea of the voice is to try and protect this non-existent identity. Whatever it is saying this about the me is about this image, about this identity, to try and protect it. And both of these aspects feed into each other. You see, the so-called spiritual and non-spiritual. See, this is still happening, therefore you're definitely not yet free. She has a list.
Something I'll give you Ananta, then I'll tell you my list.
Yes. It's okay, my dear.
Basically, my list is that the clearer I see, the more I will be challenged. So I rather not see, because when with regard to Mithru, when I asked like how even all the illiterate and uneducated mothers are managing and how come I'm not able to do it, somebody gave me the answer that they have the blessings of the mother energies activated, whatever in them, and therefore, so finally I feel that no matter what I see or don't see, if the mother is going to have the final laugh. And all along I've been playing one game extremely well, refining it further and further. But finally she tells me that's not the game at all. In her whim, she totally breaks everything. Then there's, I buy into some kind of dejection that it's all in vain anyway. If everything's going to happen by then not a blade of grass, not an eyelid, not an eyelash, other than the will of God. So what? Just like I buy into
So where does it leave you?
dejection.
Wait, dejection is okay, but where does it leave you? What is left for you to do?
Nothing. I actually find myself growing stronger, and in spite of the dejection,
So you say
there's
that
growing strength.
everything is moving by the will of God.
Yes.
This is being seen more and more, or at least inferred more and more. As you said, it was more of an inference, but I'm sure that in your exploration, you're seeing it also more and more. So as this is seen more and more, what is left for the idea of the me to do?
No, it just feels like an infinite fade out. There's only going to be like more and more and more and more fading
This
out.
artistic mind. Some of you have this thing, no? And it seemed like it served you in the past. You see? But what happens is that very subtly, many of you, not necessarily true in your case, but for many of you, you paint a picture or a visual of what is happening. And then that also becomes part of the identity. It's subtle like this. So, some of you have this artistic sort of mind which now wants to distract you with the images of what is going on. So, even these images we have to let go of.
It finally feels like in the silence, neither Arunachala nor Bhagavan, nor, like no icon is left standing.
Yeah.
And just everything just
Yeah.
crumbles.
Because the forms which are appearing, even the holiest forms which have appeared, are to make sure that you start looking away from form. Arunachala doesn't have an ego that it is getting upset if you would say this. The purpose of Arunachala was so that you start looking away from this world of form and find the formless that you are. So in the silence, as you say, all forms start to fade, even Bhagwan and Arunachala. This is very good. This is what they want. But this is not what the mind is interpreting. The mind is saying, oh, even they are going in this. That's the whole idea. As you're discovering your formlessness, you will not be reliant on any form. And you will not speak this from any sort of arrogance, just like a natural statement you made right now. In the silence, you almost made it as a dejected statement. But actually, it's very beautiful. In the silence, all forms, even Arunachala and Bhagwan, seem completely irrelevant icons. Yes. There is no scope left for the me to survive. Because will, everything is happening, blade of grass, eyelid, everything happening through God's will. So nothing to do. And without doership, me cannot survive. So now it's doing dejected me. It's okay, it'll get over this. You see, it still found something to do. But all of this I'm seeing, therefore let me be dejected. There's no reason to. Because it can be completely freeing, this seeing that I am not the doer. Many will report it's like a burden came off my shoulders. Some will say like this that I feel so constricted. It's okay. It'll be done playing this also. Very soon.
Janaka style enlightenment.
Say again?
Janaka style enlightenment.
Janaka style. You mind that? Yeah.
I know who I am when I see and I close my eyes. It's completely clear, but still expectation that appearance should change. Something. Like smoothness, not money related, but life should be smooth.
Smooth.
Like lesser suffering.
Give an example of suffering. Like conflict and
Yeah,
parents should be happy with me. That kind of stuff. Or?
not exactly that, but in each situation, the smoothness.
So there's been this seeing Father, and I'm awareness. The thought that is there is that it's shaking and it can go, and I have to remember something to kind of
Keep it.
and then I say, okay, how can I remember it? It's not something like it. So that's the battle in a sense. That's when it's telling me to remember, that don't forget this because you lose it.
And when you say it out loud, already it seems to sound like rubbish.
It is rubbish.
That's one of the important things of why we are getting this exposing outward. Once it's out, we can look at it more objectively. So just
It's just the content. It's just it believes the content for a minute or for a while, and then
did you say already? No. Adam, you're buying?
I can't think of anything.
You're buying?
नहीं ऐसे तो नहीं है लेकिन राजन बहुत चिंता में है.
Obviously. He said that as such nothing I'm buying, but Mr. Rajan is very worried. I would be worried if Mr. Rajan would not be worried already.
राजन चाहता है कि खत्म हो जाए वो सब. राजन खत्म होना चाहता है.
It's pretending as if it wants to commit suicide. It's only pretending.
वो साइलेंस में आ रहा है फिर चले जा रहा है, आ रहा है चले जा रहा है.
Yes. Even this reporting of what it is doing is also it. The reporter which is keeping track that this is what's happening here. And although for you it's new, so it's little natural, it's okay. But you will find more and more it will try to survive by this reporting itself. So that's why very often I say throw away the thermometer. You keep checking, especially spiritual seekers. One thing you will find about themselves is that every day they are checking how free they are, which itself is bondage. His shirt says run. I wonder if he's buying. Is that a message to him?
There is more space between me and mind. So,
Me and mind.
yeah. So all the, even if there is a buying or even if there is a belief, then that is also temporary.
Yes.
But there is a reappearance of one particular belief that is similar with Suchitra's. It is like all these have been made possible by the working of grace and by your help, definitely. But even after realizing this, I don't feel much attachment to anything at all. So it's like when one feels as if one does not exist, then one feels as if nothing else exists.
So similar to what you were saying, like a sense of dejectedness or disappointment sort of.
No.
Not. This feeling can be there, and different variations of this can be there. It's like, how do you prevent a child from crying when they discover that there is no Santa Claus? Similar, I know I try to make things as simple as possible. But there's a point in life when every child will discover that there is no Santa Claus, not in the way they thought anyway. And that is bound to bring some grief if they strongly believed. So the best a parent can do is to say, I'm here for you, while this grief is being processed. And as you're discovering the truth, and you find that no me has ever existed here, then sometimes this fear, this grief, this dejection, some disappointment can come. But it's good that we go through this together. And then one day together laugh at it.
One is not sure whether it's a buying
Yeah.
into it or not. There is silence, there is love, there is peace. But there is also a deep yearning. A deep yearning which one doesn't know what it is, but this term called direct experience of truth keeps recurring. So consciously have set it aside, but the yearning just is
Yeah.
not.
This longing or yearning, as you are calling it, this deeper urge to discover yourself. See, this is the beautiful longing. And nothing can be done about it or spoken about it. Actually, it's also beautiful in a way. It's not suffering type
Not at all.
desire.
Not at all.
It's
And there's
very
no
good.
expectation.
Yeah.
But the tears just
Yes.
flow.
It's very
It's,
beautiful.
it's
This is just the longing to come back home. This is very beautiful. And no matter what the mind can say about it, it can never be called a problem.
it doesn't feel. That's why I said I don't know if it's a buying in or anything, but it is. That's the only thing apart from the silence.
It's very good. You're blessed with this.
Just what's happening.
Satsanga, fine.
Say, like there should be some kind of a like before and after, and that you should be able to say some of these like peace, love, joy,
At least something.
something should be there. And the thought thing of this kind of sense of like an energetic burden, feeling of carrying a burden.
Not true, you know. I know you've been buying the second one at least for some time. Can we felt energetic burden? It's very strong here also in the afternoon.
But in the thoughts that I heard just saying something along the lines of I don't know the exact word, but the self is not an event, like the recognition of it is happening. So there's still this complete something. There must be some kind of happening.
Are you aware now? Yes. It is the self recognizing this. Happened or no? It can seem like we've gone years and years without this simple recognition. But just because it is put simply like this and checked simply and found, doesn't mean that it is not profound. Because this question and this answer can blow away all ideas that we have about ourselves. I am aware now. Awareness is aware of itself. Knowing is knowing itself. I am this awareness. Because only awareness is aware. All this is seen in this simple question. See that no appearance I can become. No appearance can touch me. No idea can live up to what I am. Because I cannot describe myself. I have no qualities or descriptions and attributes. And yet it is so simple. I am here. The mind has this tendency to undervalue that which is simple. So simply we can check on our true self. I am aware now. Awareness is aware of itself.
I'm so filled with a sense. I'm feeling it's wondrous how I'm here. And how things are. I feel that the most beautiful thing is to be discovering. And I've been with Guruji for 2 years,
Yeah.
and now at your feet, I'm amazed and I'm full of wonder. I'm still discovering. Still so much inside. Still discovering. And so much full of dhanyavad. Saubhagyashali and graces.
Percolating.
Sharpening. You and Guruji and you. And till a few. One thing was that I always felt that I want to go beyond this, that ultimate knowing. It's always there, but I just want to be completely at rest. I just want to get rid of this also. And now I discover that this is that Rajan speaking.
Yes. Yes. Of course.
Yes. So I remember I asked this question to Guruji in Saja. And that time he replied something which I didn't get. And another thing is this other. This other was not so much resolved inside me, but now it is at your feet. There cannot be, don't touch the other. There can only be one here. So this other is more clarity. It's amazing how this, it's the most beautiful thing happened. Thank you so much.
This is continuing grace. Do you want to share something?
I would like to share what everything is scared. Something is going to be heard.
Something is scared about sharing.
Something don't want to be open. Some feeling like this.
This fear is here. The one that witnesses this fear, is that also fearful? Witness is okay. And you are which one?
Questions arising like, is this really so simple?
What?
Like something like strong belief.
Yeah.
Here. So it's kind of very simple.
Yes, this is cannot be just this, cannot be this simple. It is. If the truth is here, if the self is here, if God is here, it must be here now. So therefore, to find the truth, to find the self, to find God, we must look at what is here now. And when we look at what is here now, we discover this being and the awareness of this being. The truth is not coming and going. The self is not coming and going. God is not coming and going. To report from what we see directly in the right now is the best expression of the truth. And the mind will often come with this resistance, saying, but nothing happened. But this is it. How can it just be this? It doesn't want for you to see how simple it is. It is you. It is simpler than simpler because it is you already. You are that already. The mind says you must become that. Mind says you must become that completely or something, as if you're halfway that or something. How can you be half that? Half awareness? You are that. The believing in the mind, the believing in the thought, is the pretending that God has become a person.
I'm using it in a different language. That's why maybe
And plus, we've not had this interaction before.
they express.
Yes?
If you bring me to this moment, I see lots of sensation.
Yeah. I see a lot of sensation. I see a lot of appearances. I see a lot of sensation seemingly inside the body. This I that sees is the important thing to find. The content can be whatever and it can keep changing. You know what I mean by content. What is appearing is changing constantly. Is this I also changing? The I that sees. We have been reporting about ourselves from this changing content. Now I'm asking you to look at what is this I which is unchanging. Can we report from there? If you have been deeply identified as a seeker for a long time, then the seeker identity will always come with this objection. This cannot be so simple. It cannot just be this. There must be something more to it. Because I've been looking for this truth for so long. And you say it's always been here. It doesn't want this answer.
Right now, I just want to put attention back. Right now, I'm doing that. You say, report from the yes. Because it's not very strong heavy.
Yes.
It's like quite gentle.
So from here, now what is there? What is left to report?
Light sensation, like some quite
Sensation. And who witnesses the sensation? Who is the witness of the sensation?
usually we use the
I, yes. It is I. It is a direct experiencing of this sensation. It is my direct experience as the I. Who is this I? Is there any sensation in the sleep state? In the deep sleep state? Any sensation?
I cannot report about deep sleep state.
You can, no? You can say that I slept last night and I woke up this morning. Who reports that? Who knows that there is something called deep sleep state? Reporting comes later, that's agreed. After being is present, after this instrument, after all of that, then we can make the report. But I'm not talking about the report. I'm talking about the knowing. Who knows that there is something called sleep state?
Maybe I just repeat after the book. I repeat this because definitely when I wake up, I just remember the dream state.
But you don't know you slept? Suppose there was no dream. Then is it like in the night it was dark and suddenly it is the day, now it is morning? No, you say I went to sleep and then I woke up. So it's evening time now. After some time, then suddenly morning appears. Is that what happened? No, you say I went to sleep and I woke up. So what went to sleep and what woke up? It is your direct experience. It is the mind which is saying, but nobody is there, nothing is there. How can you report from sleep? How would human beings know that there is something called sleep? Is it just an idea? No, we say I experience sleep. There is nothing phenomenal to experience in sleep. That is true. Because even the root phenomena, the sense I am, is not present in sleep. The sense I exist is not present in sleep. Therefore, we can say, oh, even I was not there in sleep. Then who knows this? I was not there. Who knows I was not there? There was nothing. Who knows there was nothing? I know. This awareness knows, you see, that even being was not there. Awareness is prior to being.
Not so clear. If I come now, the sensation is much clearer. Which I can expose, it's like such a very clear moment to awaken in this state, understanding something already here. Just different sensation. In dream stage one sensation, and different sensation, and still someone's still aware.
Yeah. This is the movement of life, constantly changing appearances. Who is the witness of the sensation? The mind says, look at the sensation, look at the appearance, always pushing us to the content, never to whom the content is appearing. And if you remain caught up in this play of appearances and we don't look at the I, to whom the appearance is coming and going, then it's endless, endless new appearance, new sensation, new appearance, new sensation, no sensation, more sensation, never end. Are you that which is appearing and disappearing, or are you the changeless witness of that which is appearing and disappearing? Contemplate like this some more. And you're very welcome to join all the sessions if you like. Buying something?
That the mind was saying that for so many, since I met you, for so many months, the scene was so clear and everything was witnessing. And the last few weeks, it's become completely blurry. And so now you've lost it or some crazy thing. But that can also be witnessed. I got it, but now I'm returning it back.
Very good. Very good. I realize that the Reserve Bank Governor of India is Mr. Rajan right now. So all the currency notes now, the new currency notes, are being signed by him.
Yes, that's right.
You can return them to him now. So this idea is completely false, because it is not the seeing which can become blurry. It is only what is seen can seem clear or blurry. The seeing itself remains just as the seeing.
Yeah, I am buying the idea that I am full of fear, so I cannot be free. The fear is so much.
It's good that you saw this, you noticed it, and you exposed it. And the exposing in the field of satsang is very powerful.
In a lighter vein.
No, what are you buying?
I would like
You're buying a lighter.
In a lighter vein. That seat is really hard. I sat there and I couldn't speak, like like a rat. And my throat was dry, my mouth was dry, and it was muddy. That was really hot. It was my first experience.
It's really hot. It's hot depending on your openness. If you come closed and full of your own ideas, then you can come and say, nothing. If you're open, then something just opens up more.
Yeah. I just want to check with you. I used to ask you earlier. I close my eyes, especially in your presence. Seamless presence as well. And sometimes presence and is also there. And awareness and presence becomes one. But not all the time, but it happens in your presence. And I used to ask you, when I open my eyes, it's not being felt that way. So how can I close my eyes and live my life? So somehow now, when I close my eyes, at this moment, I think it's very simple. Awareness is aware of everything.
Yes.
And it's so simple.
Yeah.
It's just awareness.
Yes.
Everything is at hand.
Yes.
That's what Amba was pointing to me.
Yes.
We were driving, and then I said, "Can I close my eyes?"
She said, "Stop the car." Thankfully, it was Amba, and sometimes her niceness can be injurious to her health. So, if it was me instead of Amba, I would have said, "Stop the car, let me talk."
And she said, "You can see. You already see."
Yeah.
Then I saw. Then she knew that I was seeing. No, it's just seeing.
Whatever you report, she knows that you are seeing.
Yeah, she knew.
So she cannot lose that. It's like, irrespective of whether you say you're seeing or not, I know you are seeing.
Yeah, it's seeing. It's so simple. Like, mountains of our
Molehill, yes.
Yeah.
Much ado about nothing.
Much ado about nothing. This is it. Is it right?
Why are they laughing? Why are they laughing? Because after so much conviction. It's good like this, and I feel even this feeling to check is very good because it keeps us humble.
Thank you. The most beautiful thing.
He's jumping at it, so he has something strong, and then he.
Anand, Mr. Rajan is saying freedom and all is fine, but you are unworthy. And it says there needs to be a story to be told. You need to literally swim across 7 lakes,
Yes.
7 oceans, and not die in a swimming pool. I'm willing to die in a swimming pool. I don't want a story to tell.
And if you don't want the story, then whatever this ego is saying, it doesn't matter. You don't want the story, it doesn't matter what the storyteller is saying today. Unworthy is an unworthy concept. Don't pick it up. How can there be some who are worthy and some unworthy? Isn't that the delusion of separation already? Who is less God or more God? Not possible. That which is already that cannot be less worthy of that. You are already that. Don't buy it.
On another note, Father, I was scared to tell you yesterday, but when I sat on the hot seat, I felt pukation.
Yes. It's a common thing. You're okay.
Is it like negative energy?
Yes. This energetic release might be happening. All the fear energy which the mind feels it's in trouble, so pulls all its cousins, like Guruji said. Come, we're in trouble now. You better come and distract this one. Even this is auspicious because it must be allowed to get released.
When I was contemplating yesterday, it still felt like there's a center, that center with me, and that is from where I am feeling everything. So that even if it was a feeling of space or any other words which everybody has used, but it still felt like it was me.
And this center is contained inside what? Let's look together. Already when we say center, it means it is in the middle of something.
Yes.
What is it in the middle of?
It feels here, and since here is only my body, it feels like it's inside me.
Okay, so let's look at this. The body is experienced as a set of sensations, isn't it? And the mind tries to collaborate with these set of sensations by giving you a visual, creating a boundary. This set of sensations is appearing inside what?
Nothing.
This nothing, where it is appearing, is it limited?
No.
It's not limited. So this is the space that we are talking about. And this is the same space of experiencing, where this voice is being experienced, any other sounds, the outside world, the body, inside objects like thoughts, memories, imagination, all is experienced in this, what you call nothing, and I call the space of experience. You see, it seems like nothing because it is just the background in which all of these experiences are happening. It's like the wall is painted white, therefore it seems like nothing.
But when we talk about sound,
Yes.
also it seems like I can't put a location to it, but it doesn't seem in me. It just seems outside.
The experiencing of the sound is happening where?
At a location which is outside me. I can almost visualize.
Yes. So what happens is that we are programmed to calculate distance from hearing the sound. You see? So therefore what is happening is that as you're hearing these sensations, it is seeming like it is coming from that much distance outside of me. You see? But if you keep checking on this and you see where is the experience of hearing happening, you will find that it is right here. The projection of distance comes later. First is the experiencing of the sound itself. It's very subtle. So see that first the sound is heard here, and then I know how far it is. Although it seems almost instantaneous, and yet it must be that the sound is heard first. So you'll find that all experiencing, all that is seen, heard, thought, is all in this. You cannot separate this from your presence, from your own being. And you are that which is aware even of this.
One question.
Yes.
When you say stay in silence, what you mean?
Stay in silence for the silent intensive when I've been saying. Just what the obvious meanings are, which is that don't communicate, interactions, all of this. And this brings us to the inner silence, which is the absence of belief in thought. The absence of words is also helpful for us to look inside, and it will lead to this absence of belief in identity, absence of this effort to create the false, the illusion of the false.
So even when I'm in silence, but if I'm sitting, I'm not always in a contemplative silence. That's okay.
Yeah.
The salesman has a
Say again.
The salesman has left.
Salesman has left. Very good. Very good. Very good.
The question is buying or selling.
Yes, what are you buying from Rajan?
I just made a note. Since there is nothing or no thing here, why should I buy or sell?
Yes, why should you?
So that's clear. Nothing exists here. It is just an awareness.
If this is clear, then all the game of buying, selling can happen or not happen. It's okay. Buying? It's like, how could you even ask? Yeah, Andy. Umaji?
I feel a lot of peace, but there is something, the density I've been talking about, inside me, which doesn't allow me to feel the love people speak of or the space they speak of. But still, I believe in totally in your concepts and I have total faith in you. And I've got a lot of patience. So, in spite of following everything you say, I have understood it's finally the grace
Yeah.
which brings us to where we are. So, I totally believe in you.
This is surrender.
It's like I both haven't paid yet.
That is called stealing.
Because I'm believing that I have to control the attention. But also you said that
I have to go through attention.
you said that attention, you know, have to care about
Ah,
attention.
bother, yeah.
But being around, walking, not just sitting, because I'm believing that I have to control full time attention, but also is that we are already free, and I trust that. So that's why I said
Yeah,
that I haven't paid
kind of buying but not paying.
Yes.
This is good. This is a very beautiful contemplation, and stay with it. And tell me the conclusion that is come. Kancha?
Understanding is still there, but sometimes it's possible to keep aside with a lot of distraction and then the feeling of dejection that, oh my, still this distraction is there, not able to center things there. Then the understanding that, oh, this is all also per se, so this is fast, throw it out. So it's thrown out and then relief. But then it's still going on. This shift going back and forth. I don't feel that everything is clear. It's not clear.
You're buying this.
Yes. Though I understand that false, the self is always the same, but still it's not going down. It's just intellectually accepted, but not clear. Internally, emotionally, or practically, it is not fact.
What would prove to you that it is a fact?
When the conviction is there 24/7, like this is all counts.
Conviction is a result of that evidence. I'm asking for which evidence will convince you that you are free.
When this back and forth. I mean, this,
Attention.
clarity.
Clarity.
When the clarity comes, that's brushed aside. Distraction, even if it is there, it doesn't affect. But if the clarity is not there.
So when the distraction affects, who is it affecting? Image. So that which does not exist, can it truly be affected by something? Or is affecting also another idea? And I know all the energies will come, emotions will come, anger can come, frustration can come. And the interpreter is on full mode, telling you, see, you're not free, see, you're not there. It's not clear yet. But how is awareness touched in all of this?
Awareness is not, that's it. When the clarity is there, when a little bit of self-inquiry occurs, at that time everything is brushed aside. I don't buy
When
it
it's
at all.
blurry, when clarity is not there, what has happened to awareness?
Nothing will happen to
To awareness.
But at that moment, that
But
awareness is
something is like, I don't care so much about what's happening to awareness. What about me? You see, because the way you said, oh, nothing is happening to awareness, I know this. But you are awareness?
at the moment. At the point at which I am affected. The moment I am affected.
Is who?
That fellow. At that moment, some amount of self-inquiry has to be done to pull up.
It
Or
helps.
to recognize.
So, for awareness to recognize, or awareness is untouched through all of this.
Awareness is untouched.
Yes.
That's understood.
And who are you?
I am not separate from awareness. That I know. That also I know.
Therefore, you are untouched.
I am untouched, but I have to do that amount of self-inquiry.
Awareness has to do self-inquiry.
Awareness.
No.
I'm telling you to
You
get direct
see,
point.
you see and tell me, this witnessing, what can it do?
Witnessing.
It's just witnessing.
Yes.
Awareness is just aware. Now, to bring a doer into the picture, you must be identifying as something else.
The seeker.
The seeker, which exists,
Still.
doesn't. Never did.
It keeps popping up.
It's only an idea.
I can't take it.
I've not seen you for the last few weeks. Maybe that's why this is like an old conversation we're repeating.
No, this keeps happening quite often. So now I'm able to brush aside in spite of the lows. I'm able to brush it aside. Don't be bothered. This is passing shit. I drop it and then I don't get affected. I don't go into the dumps because.
This I that you have picked up,
Yes.
please throw it away before you go back.
It has to go its own.
No, you throw it. As consciousness, you can throw it.
This moment.
By not buying, the whole point of not buying is to stop providing nourishment to this false one, so that it dies on its own. Consciousness has the power of belief. And when it stops believing, stops pretending, then the false cannot seem this strong.
The other day, yesterday, we were telling somebody, keep the phone down, keep
Yeah.
the phone down. It was so nice. Yes, keep the phone down.
Yes.
Then it is just awareness. Beautiful, huge. But it's all very neutral. Yeah.
Yeah.
No side, nothing like the experience of silence, joy, whatever. Nothing, absolutely nothing.
Because the awareness gives birth to the experiencer and the doer, which is called the being, the dynamic aspect, as Guruji says. But awareness still is unconcerned even with what is happening to being. So the experiences of love, peace, and joy also are not concerning awareness.
Guruji says, too much joy, too much silence, too much happiness, too much.
Yes,
too
and
much.
in
There's nothing too much.
and in
There's nothing.
yes, but he did not say that first I wanted this too much joy, too much love, and too much peace, and then it came. In fact, he would say, I'm presuming, that if this expectation was there, that it should be like this, then it might not have come.
I feel like, okay, I don't expect all that to happen. At least there should be there should be at least this oscillation should not be there.
What is oscillation? Attention?
Yes,
Attention
is oscillation.
It's the job of attention to oscillate.
It should be centered in the self.
It cannot leave the self. It's like one end of the leash is tied to the self only. Attention, how will it leave awareness? It's tied to it. Can attention exist on its own?
No.
Then how can it leave?
Another example which Ruji himself gave, like the owner gets pulled away by the dog.
The owner is getting pulled away by the dog.
Doggy.
Pulled away means giving it your belief.
Something like that is happening.
Don't give it your belief. That something is happening here. Start with this. Don't believe it. Nothing is happening. You are that right now.
I accept it.
Don't buy this also. The mind has nothing to do with this. Can the mind see seeing? Can the mind see anything at all?
It's so subtle, but it is. When I catch it, when I catch it, I mean when the clarity is there, I can brush it off and not be affected and remain. But then, very often, I get carried away. Very often.
Let's contemplate more on this and we'll speak about it.
Can I say something, Father?
Yeah.
Father, an insight is coming like more of communication that happens here. It's more about the content.
Yes.
No, the content has to be that way or this way. The realization is more about witnessing. Content can be anything, and even if someone needs to be angry or someone needs to be abusive, that's the way. Consciousness is expressing itself. But behind that is the witnessing of that as well.
There's some doubt about this anger thing because you mentioned this getting angry thing twice in our last two interactions. So there's some doubt that is still existing about anger?
There is no doubt, it's just like being a total acceptance or surrender is something that is the gist of it. Because life is.
Well, what is special about anger?
I think this energy kind of persists in
It's
this
operating.
body mind quite often. And firstly, it will be followed then by a lot of guilt and resentment. Now it's more of a witnessing thing and it's kind of diminishing.
So anger is pure energetic play. You know this. It is just pure energetic play. Guilt and resentment needs an identity. So anger is coming up. But to be guilty about it, we have invented the person. To be resentful of another, we have invented a person. You see? So as long as guilt and resentment are not there, then you will find that anger also starts to subside. But with no timeline.
That's what is been getting witnessed now. That energies are there, all the energies would be there. But it's more about accepting it the way it is. Because like Bhagwan also said, something that should not happen or that is not supposed to happen will not happen. So life is complete in itself. So the movie has already been made. It's getting played out. It's only when you're watching it, you get too serious about it. You want to change anything, you want to edit something, and you want to proclaim, okay, if that was like that way, then probably yes. So, in a way, in one of the videos, Osho also said, what is it in the beginning is it at the end. It's all about witnessing. You start witnessing your hand, and then you witness different things, but it is the same witnessing. And that is it.
So this mind, this ego is the director's worst nightmare. Because it has some comment about every scene. Everything that is appearing, it has some commentary. This could be better like this. This should have been like this. No, oh, this is very nice. Only this should stay. No, even that it can.
The commentary is there, but the belief has completely diminished.
Exactly.
Complete acceptance has come. Like whatever happens, that was the way it has to happen. So the suffering is no longer there.
Very good. So you're absolutely right that the mind tries to keep our focus on the content and the appearances. It tries to avoid as much as possible that we look at the witnessing who is watching the content. And the second point we touched on was that we saw that this movie was playing and we were relying on the subtitle track to understand the movie. And now we're being told that the subtitle track is rubbish. It is all wrong. Actually, something else is going on, and the subtitles have been all messed up. So you can throw it away, you can enjoy it just for what it is. This commentator, this interpreter, this subtitle track can be thrown away because it's a very unhappy subtitle track. See, everything is a problem. This scene could have been better like this. It's just resisting what is appearing.
So appearances are not in the control, and I mean, if you don't know who you are by the end of the movie, that's again the insight is coming. Probably the end of the movie might start depending upon your belief in what thought, in what appearance or your interest, and keep on happening. And the moment you know this, you are just watching it. It's not even watching it as an entity, but it's a seeing or a witnessing. So the content can be whatever it is. So there is no desire to even change the content. And that is like the circumstances in life. That's what we say, like here it's a different feeling here. Outside it could be a different feeling, a different circumstances. But freedom is not about the content at all. I don't have to feel the same that I'm feeling here. I could feel different energetically or a different experience might come. That's all it is.
Divine. Is it not a number one?
As you were going around, there were things coming up, like
Okay.
So let this go. There's still this awareness of vicious thoughts. I don't belong to anyone. I just sometimes are there. Certainly guided. And then there's this kind of energetic processing goes on.
These vicious thoughts, it's reminding me of once we were just talking like this, sharing, and Radha was exploding. She was saying that I have the most vicious thoughts. You know, I want to kill someone. This feeling that I want to kill myself or kill someone. And this seems so scary to me because, there was something behind this. That this is like a true thing. But actually it is just nothing. It's just the mind's fear card. That you can be this vicious or this evil or something. And then we made so much fun of that. So we called her the singing assassin. All kinds of things. Just so that we can make it a little better. Because when it's inside here, it seems like, wow, this is terrible. But once it comes out, you see, it's nothing. It's just another thought. Once we keep it inside, we claim some ownership over it. Say, how can my thoughts be so vicious? They can. Because that's all the mind knows, attack and defense, attack and defense. So don't worry about the viciousness of thoughts. It can be anything. I'm unconcerned and so should you.
I had this physical symptom of fear when it was understood that there is going to be a difficulty and exposing the thing. But I'm happy to do that and seek your guidance. Some kind of pointers. What seems to be troubling is that I have it's the monkey mind I have. It's a very, very strange, it's a very, very peculiar and strange mind that is attached to consciousness, or not, and skeptical also, and questioning. Just to give you an example, when we went for the pradakshina with Suchitra, I was happy to do that, and when Bhagwan says it's auspicious, I'm happy to do that, whether I know it or not. But then this mind says, there is this earth, there is a slight blip somewhere, and then the stupid human mind thinks that by going around it, it's going to be highly spiritually enlightened. And then when we went to Yogi Surat Ashram, those think that, well, if you go around it, it's better than, it's as good as going 5 times. My mind has said that I can do better than this. I will come up with a story that going around once doing the prediction of Shri Ananta is 10 times as good. So then in effect calculating it's 50 times better than So I have this, there is this mind that continuously is engaged in this kind of questioning or skepticism almost uncharitable comments on what the hell does this lady answer to Manu? Who's he trying to fool or something like that? And when she said, that I have complete trust and I give myself to you, and I said, wow, that's a simple mind. That's a mind that can get. It's like the wormhole to enlightenment. And I have to go like the whole journey, and this simple mind has just a kind of a trust which takes you through the wormhole. And I feel that on a certain level, I don't have this kind of trust in any. And actually, it's clear to me that when you sit here and you're so calm, you're so composed, and you're so relaxed, and when you talk, it's so clear that you have understood the mind, understood the working and process. And that is touching, but somewhere the mind says that it's skeptical about, and I think that if I had a simple mind, things would be so simple, right? Because of the. And this mind doesn't even seem to want to just quick and easy. It wants to understand the subtle processes of the mind, the subtle play of consciousness, all that. There is that desire to really get more and more into the nature of mind rather than just quickly, So, whereas at a certain other level, there is that. The feeling of devotion. When I go to the ashram, the walls of the ashram, the stone, they're so familiar. I feel like home, sitting at the meditation, it's perfectly feeling at home. But yet the mind is kind of almost trying to sabotage. It seems to be a sabotaging mechanism. Everything it wants to kind of question, dismiss, belittle.
I can completely relate to everything you said. Because the mind that was operating from here also was exactly like this. That's why for most of this life, it has been operating like an atheist. Now I cannot say it. I'm getting older, so for a large part of this life, I've been operating as an atheist. So, what is this God thing? What is this God? People have just made up a concept because they're too fearful. They don't have faith in themselves, so they made up this God. This is what I used to believe. It's for losers. God is for losers. I used to believe. And there was a lot of sense that I can do this, I will do this, I will create this, I will show them. So through grace, through suffering, this question opened up. Who am I? Who is this I? Okay, forget about God. All of that is fine. Forget about faith, forget about devotion, trust, all of that. Who is this I? And in this inquiry, this skeptic nature of the mind was very useful. You see, because it doesn't stop. Something will say, yes, this I is God. This doesn't help in any way. What is this God? When you inquire more, who is this? One thing that you cannot deny is that I exist. Isn't it? You cannot deny that I exist. Therefore, you cannot say, who am I is a stupid question because I don't exist. There is an I which exists. Who is this I? And this questioning nature, this inquisitive nature, why like this, why not like this, why not like this, is really helpful with the inquiry. So we are not like God's forgotten children. We are not blessed with devotion, and therefore we cannot find it. So it will be that as you go with this same skepticism, for any answer which is coming, you will start to discard most of them. And you'll find that no answer fits. But in discarding all of these answers, so much space was created for your just simple seeing of who you are. Okay? Many settle for answers, and that's not a good thing. Okay? The answer could be from any mouth, the holiest of mouths. But it's still, as long as it still remains a concept, it is not helpful. So don't worry about this quality of your mind. Know that this will also be a helpful tool as your inquiry. You see, I never bought any of these ideas. My parents have been spiritual for a long time. So they would go for satsang, and sometimes, almost knowing that we will say no, they would say, come for satsang. And I would say, who wants to go to your sad song? And my mother would say things like, just look at his eyes, and through the eyes you can discover everything, you'll find the sad. I said, what rubbish, how can I look at some eyes and I'll find some truth? And yet what happened when I came to the hot seat in Guru? There was hardly any global interaction. So all of this which I was skeptical about was coupled with some sort of a scientific openness. I've always been interested in these kind of things. String theory, the nature of objects, how they operate, free will, these kind of questions have always been. So those who are blessed with this kind of mind are also blessed with this kind of curiosity about why will it function like this? How can it be that this pile of just earth stuff, you just go around it and something magical will happen? And how can it be that something even more ludicrous sounding, which is this ashram, which then is 5 times as powerful? So this will help you, because you will question everything, all answers that are being provided, even here. I don't want you to go away with any answer. Just pointing, which is helping you to check for yourself, because I don't want to leave you with belief. I want to leave you with direct experiencing of the truth. Because there are many who are peddling belief. And after getting whacked around by life a few times, I was open to buy any belief as well. And I bought many of them. But this nature to question helped. Nature to question helped. How can it be like this? How can it be like this? And then, as you keep questioning, you might find that some answers make themselves available. It's like when my master used to say that energetically this is happening, energetically this is what he's sensing. I would say, what is this energetically? I can't make out what you're saying. I would not say this because I don't have that courage. But I would feel this. I don't sense. But now this, as more and more this discovery is happening, I can sense that Arunachala, this pile of earth stuff, I can sense the energetic presence of it. It is very palpable, it is very clear. But it wasn't earlier, so I know what you're saying. And it's completely fine. So I'm not so interested in the explanations of how it could happen anymore, although I was earlier. And there are some who provided many explanations to this, to do with life force and prana, and how this faith in something is actually an energetic transfer of prana, and that which we have a lot of faith in then becomes strong more and more energetically with this life force, and how this presence can be felt. So the same thing, I used to be extremely skeptical about temples. Even now I haven't visited a temple in a long time. But I was like, how can a rock sitting over there do something for my life? Everyone is going and praying to it. And then now when I enter some places, they come across, I can sense there is some energetic aspect to some of this. So just be open in your inquiry. Then we become adventurers. It is discovering new. But don't go away from the root problem, the root inquiry, which is who am I? And as you are discovering that I am not a person, then all the other insights about Arunachala, about any other thing will become clearer if they happen.
Although I still remain very interested in trying to understand the nature of the activity, mind, and everything. I don't think I want a shortcut. I'm quite happy with the norm, with the path through more and more discoveries.
Yeah.
So I'm extremely happy to keep it with
There is this idea that some of us have that once I become free, then all my insights will stop. All my discovery, all the curiosity about the world will stop. It's not like that. In fact, it is much more beautiful because there's no burden of a me that is carried around. And you discover some things. It could even be the most non-spiritual things, but you find such beauty in them. This one was asking for some business tips earlier, so something is coming up for him. So when I read for the first time that the philosophy that Warren Buffett has to make money on the stock market is to be greedy when others are fearful and to be fearful when others are greedy. Mhm. And for me, it was a deeply spiritual concept. Because you see, fear begets fear. And to be able to stand out from that crowd and just to look at things objectively and say irrationally, because of so much fear, this has become undervalued, or this is not the true value of this is not being seen because of that. Therefore, we must make the call to buy at that time. And then when everybody is greedy about it, then irrationally it is too high. That is the best time to dispose of it. Isn't that spiritual? And this is a new insight that I discovered. So it is not that the nature of things now becomes close to you because you're awake or something like that. It's just that you can see much more clearly even these things, even in the worldly sense. Because I've heard this a few times also that I don't want it to be over. So when I say, are you done with the play? I only mean, are you done with playing as this identified me, as this false idea of me? It's not that this play will stop. Very good. Something, some idea you're buying from the mind?
When I met you that time it's beginning class, and always silent. So everything is okay.
Did I miss anyone? Or
I don't believe something happen while I'm playing on actually it's connected with this moment actually in the moment, but it's all just unfolding. I was be aware that feel is a thought that does not exist really, because it comes and goes, and it's so obvious here. It's obvious that this thing pop up like this, and I don't have doubts about it. That's obvious.
amazing, not having the doubt about the and also I felt that there is no death because
There is no
death.
death.
Yeah, nothing can die because it's just like awakening into if I can say I don't find other words into other level of awareness, something awake. So it was also amazing. These were my questions since a young age. What about after or not? I was 20. So now everything is becoming clear. Now something, I don't know even if it's a question or it's a topic. Just I want to check because it came out in nowhere. It came because I felt this morning that we live in Finland. And then came, is it a normal state that I still feel a being in sea, or I'm told that I'm a being. It's not actually coming from mind, but because it's like just things come up. I don't know even what it is. Is it a question? Is it checking? But as it is here never was, just I want to expose. Do I now believe that I'm being or what's happening?
I understand the question because a thought is made up of the same I am stuff, consciousness. The concepts are also made up about this. The idea I am being is another idea, is another concept. But the I amness is another appearance. So if we are calling all appearances, now we are calling them thoughts, then we can say that everything is a thought, including the appearance of the I am. But if you have this separation between this appearance at a phenomenal level and the interpretation about it, which is the thought, then you can say that I am is not. Depends on our definition of thought.
When you asked it felt like a concept. Like the only words. Like,
So I amness in itself is not a concept. It is a appearance. To awareness, even I am is an appearance. Sense of being. Because that, like you said, which comes and goes, cannot be I ultimately. So this is another appearance. And the idea about this appearance, which is I am as a thought or a concept, that is still a concept or an interpretation of it. That's why I say that the I am is not the thought I am, it is the sense I am.
it was so clear. It was not thought. It was not that I saw the thought of I am is not real. I really saw and felt I cannot express in words that even this being comes and goes. It's not permanent. It's not permanent. It's not. It comes and goes. But this, therefore, I said this because when thought comes and then
It's similar like that.
yes.
Same. It's the same energy, you see, consciousness.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's the check. That's the buying list. Okay.
So, I'm very happy to be here because this was one of my lifetime dreams. I didn't know what kind of I used to sing the song. remember this song, I just felt something very strong. Until recently, I only came to know. So, okay, fulfill my dream. I was talking about, and halfway I was tired, I wanted to come out. But then something said to me very strong, intuition or God's voice. If you come for something, which you don't look back. So I went all the way around. And I wasn't there of it, and then I thought, how will I come all the way around? I don't know. Then something carried me, I don't know what happened. There was no pain, nothing, just and when I was up on the mountain, I took a photo, standing on the soil. But something said to me, take this photo, you might not come back again here. And I didn't say that. When I took the photo, I thought they just came to me. This was one of the parts of my journey to happen. You know, so that's how it is.
Very happy. Very happy.
And now I can move my mind. And yesterday, I think, I don't know what happened. This came out. I wanted to run away to home again. But then when I went outside, I realized that home is not really too far.
Australia. And just run there.
So that's where the mountain is. And when I realized that, I feel like my home is there.
When we get news, very Shanti. She's running to Australia.
This is what I want to explore. It always runs like when I came back there, yes, I wanted to go back. When I had to do the application, I didn't want to go. So this is probably the second one. And yesterday, because I went to the ashram on Wednesday morning, and I didn't go yesterday, then I'm feeling that I want to let go of that photo. I must have missed something, but then inside was saying it's perfectly straight, so that's not like a stone. So something I can see, something is strong, something sticky, something. So this was they said that it's okay, everything is fine, it's inside. So other thing is coming up. I don't know how to address it. It's like I find it very simple. It's not like a word.
Yes. No, it's completely fine. That's why if someone says, what should I call you? I say, Ananta is perfectly fine. It wants to, it doesn't know what to do with you. Then you let it just appear on its own, how it's appearing. Some idea.
I didn't pay, so we went, oh well, but then it just came, I don't know
Nothing. You allow it to unfold on its own.
follow every moving, then again, it's like my monkey head is falling over.
Yes. this is not a problem at all. Because whatever way of relating, whatever has to happen, the unfolding of this, how it must appear and what words must be used, will all happen on its own, nothing to be done or not done. How did this father thing start? I feel it started because when I met Mujiji for the first time, I just felt he's my father. And not so many in the Muji Sangha also call him father, at that time especially. So, but in my email to him or whatever communication would happen, it was just like this, beloved father. And maybe because I was referring to him like that, some of the initial Sangha members then started calling me father. Started like this and it became. And it's funny now that those with bodies which are older than this body also call me father. It's okay, it doesn't matter to me. Ananta is just fine. So what then your heart will find something which resonates. And I'm completely fine with There or no written? Yeah. All this, you will stop seeing me as a male.
No, but we come very different. It's just that fear I see inside myself.
So the fear is here.
It's like it sometimes holds me and sometimes makes me keep fighting to run away. It's just me.
And if the fear, if some residual fear is here, it is natural for it to come up so that it can be released.
Sometimes it's that way and sometimes it's
Yeah. Then if it is coming again and again, then you pull it into your inquiry. You know what I mean? This which comes again and again is usually the most deeply conditioned, strongly nourished idea. Right? That was the idea. That was the we didn't come to you, you can.
Yes, I was wondering what you said. I actually just want to say something. It's okay. So, if you asked us to think of the ideas, there was openness to the ideas, but none of the ideas were coming.
Yeah.
So, nothing was staying, nothing was coming. And then this one came, thought for the day.
And I said, okay, maybe let's just surrender it. I thought I should bring it up because she mentioned this. But there have been times when I've thought that I'll never be able to call you father, like everybody else. I don't know even if there is someday, but then it will be like.
Little itself is not important.
There have been thoughts like this. I just want to say this because she brought it up. And also that I didn't think that I should be special not to say anything. I should also expose it. And but I think it is good, like you said in the morning, just okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask one more thing, which is there's a lot of love emerging for everybody, and that I have asked earlier as well. What should I do about it? Because like some people come home after so many days, and I'm just hugging and kissing them all the time. So I don't know whether it's okay.
It's okay. At least now with these people, it's okay. The others also will put on
Yeah,
the
it's
stand.
just been that I haven't kissed her all the time. I don't know.
That you have to ask her.
Yeah, so I don't know whether that's okay. I've mentioned this to you earlier. I just feel like hugging.
Yes. This is the first one. You know why? Because there was this feeling that it'll be like quick, what this is what I'm trying to do. Because you had a longer one, I said okay.
We struggle hard to
Get it
back.
back.
This is how my mind plays. Witnessing or the awareness is as abstract as the eye.
As abstract as the I. Okay?
So, we say
The false I.
Yeah.
The awareness is as abstract as the ego. Is that what it is?
false eye because it's there, it's not there, and I have to put effort to get it, like close my eyes and feel it. When I open my eyes, it's not natural. And the witnessing is also very limited in its it's limited. It's not universal in any way. The awareness is also mostly sensory, not universal in any way. So I feel in my mind, I'm taking either a narrower perspective or a broader perspective. But still, I'm staying in the realm of the mind, not stepping out of it, like you asked me, like many people are able to.
Very good to see this, so it's good. So no matter how abstract something is, it cannot be as abstract as the ego. Because the ego is non-existent. Firstly. So to call the ego even abstract would be to give it more reality than it is. What can we truly say about it, even in abstract terms?
I mean, my mind resisted a lot that people were saying $1,000 reward.
Yeah,
all
you
that.
wanted that.
They are saying, how do you show happiness? How do you show, I mean, any of those things are abstract as abstract as the eye, but it is there because the bodily sensations report is going to that identity, not to that eye which is not worried about
No,
anything.
slowly. So bodily sensation report is going to who?
The egoic
How?
identity.
Try now. Just pinch yourself like this. Yeah? And see where the sensation is going to who. The sensation is felt as part of the body. Now this is experienced where? All the sensations, like you can sense all the sensations from the arms, from the feet, from the legs. All of this is experienced where? Which ego is it reporting to? Don't draw anything that you don't see, because that is too much of a leap. It seems like a harmless thing. It seems like that. It's not. Just stay only with what you see, and this will be the best thing. So the sensations are felt. Where are they experienced? You can say that it is inside the body. It feels like sensations are happening inside the body. But the boundaries of the body are experienced inside what? Like the sensation of the outermost part of my arm, where is that experienced? Is it in some confinement, or is it in some infiniteness? Infiniteness. So, isn't all experiencing, including these sounds, any other sounds which might be hearing, also happening in the same infiniteness? So this infiniteness, who is aware of it? Are you hearing a report that this infiniteness is here, or you are directly aware?
There is a sense.
Yes, so this sense is whose? It's a knowing, yes. Are you apart from this knowing? Can you separate this knowing from you? That which knows even this space, can you not be this one?
It feels like that infinite space is there, but the island, it feels like island.
Is this a visual, or what is this island? Or is it a sensation?
Expansiveness is not there.
Expansiveness we already saw when we said it is infinite. Because infinite is infinitely expansive. Now, that which is aware of infinity, can it be constricted? Cannot be. So that which we are calling island or individual I or something is just either a set of sensations or a visual which the mind is shown to, which is also experienced in the same infinite space. Just like that example of that dot on the wall, and we say only the dot is here, we don't see the wall. Now we are seeing the wall, the background on which all of this is seen. I am aware even of that. So this awareness, is it touched? Is it affected by any appearance which might be coming? Is untouched. Can you find the personal I?
When you asked that question, the attention came back to the body. I can't find it, but the attention became completely clear.
That's okay. So attention can be here in the body. And yet, all the sensations of the body are still experienced in that same space. And we can check over and over. There's no harm. We got so used to associating the body sensation with the boundaries that it's good if we check over and over that these boundary sensations are also experienced inside the infinite space, inside me, inside the me. Then you see that even this I am aware of. That this space of experiencing, I am that which is aware even of this, untouched by whatever experience might be coming and going. And no matter how hard you look, you will not be able to find this personal I. Because the question will now remain with you. It says that if I am that, then who is looking at it? So whatever visual your mind tries to give you, whatever story the mind tries to give you, it will not be God, at least not for long. Because now you're looking at the deeper level, at your own being, at your own true self. It can play all roles at the same time. But identification is not needed for that. To fool yourself, to delude yourself is not needed to play any role. We have time?
Just a very
Okay.
quick.
Yeah.
The first is when you said you might be cold during the retreat, like that really upset me no end, but I'm very happy to see you not cold.
I didn't mean during satsang time. I meant outside of satsang.
Okay. The other thing is I often find satsang very, very boring.
Yeah.
And it's very long, drawn out, wordy, mindy.
Except when the interaction is with you.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
Only
it.
then it comes alive.
Yeah.
And then it's like people say all their symptoms in great detail, and you listen to it, and finally you say that the disease does not exist.
Yeah.
No, but you listen to all this.
Because if I did that right in the beginning, you would say I'm too cold. Both ways you can't have it. And everyone, many times I get this advice that you have to just chop. See? Chop everyone else but me. I know today definitely it must have been a struggle for those of you watching online because we went around the room and I'm sure the audio was not clear.
Yeah.
Thank you for standing by. Thank you for your love. Thank you all so very much for being in satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Mujiji ki Jai.
Sadhguru Shri Mujiji ki Jai.